Study Guide 15, number 1. Simplify -8 minus -3 plus +6. Well, to subtract an integer, a number, you add its opposite. So we're going to leave the -8. So we're going to change the minus to addition, and we're going to take the opposite of -3, which is +3. And then we're going to subtract a +6. So we're going to change that to addition and take the opposite of +6, which is -6. Now we can just add across. -8 plus +3, the signs are different. Subtract and take the sign of the 8, which will be -5. And then -5 plus -6, signs are same, so that would be -11. 3/5 of the class is boys. There are 18 boys. How many students in the class and how many students are girls? So let's do our 5 sections. And we know that 3 of those are 18 boys. Well, if you've got 3 sections, these are the boys. And if you've got 18 in those 3, then each one of those have to be 6. So these have to be the girls. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sixes. Which would be 30 in the class. And then how many of those are girls would be these 12. Solve using algebra. Show your work. To get rid of a -8, we're going to add 8. So I've got x minus 8 plus 8 is equal to -5 plus 8. The 8's are gone. We have x by itself. And a -5 plus a +8. Signs are different, so we're going to take the difference in the two numbers, which would be 3, and the sign will be positive. Number 4, we have some subtracting. The addition will just stay the same, so we'll have +5 minus -6 would be plus a +6. To subtract a number, you add its opposite, and then we just bring down the addition. And then to subtract a number, we add its opposite. Now we can just go straight across. +5 plus +6 is +11, plus -2, signs are different, subtract, you get +9, and then +9 plus -3, subtract those, and you'll get +6. Number 5, these are multiplication. Multiplication, when the signs are the same, the answer is going to be positive. So -14 times -2 is going to be +28. +5 times -3, the signs are different, so it's going to be -15. And then -6 times +4, the signs are different, it's going to be -24. Anytime the signs are different, it's going to be negative. Number 6, write 28% as a decimal and reduce fraction. Well, 28% would be 0.28 as the decimal. And then that, or either which one you want to look at, is 28 over 100. And we can divide, because it's 2 decimal places, we can divide by 4 over 4 and get 7 over 25. Number 7, write 6/100ths as a percent and reduce fraction. Well, let's go ahead and make it a percent. It's going to be 6/100ths, and hundredths is percent, so that's going to be 6%. And then as a fraction, that's 6 over 100. We can divide by 2 over 2, which is 3 over 50. Number 8, write 4/5 as a percent in decimal. It's going to be easier to change it to the decimal first. Remember, we divide the denominator into the numerator. We'll need at least 1 decimal place, and maybe 2. 5 won't go into 4, but it goes into 48 times. Now, you can stop here. I'm going to go ahead and add the 0, bring it down. And I think that makes it a little bit easier to write it as a percent, because that's 80%. Now, you can leave it as 0.80, 80/100ths for the decimal, or you can write it as 0.8. They're both the same decimal. Number 9, the ratio of cats to dogs at the shelter was 5 to 7. If there are 45 cats, how many dogs are there? So let's set up a ratio box. And let's do ratio. And let's do actual. And I'm going to use C for cats and D for dogs. We don't need the total because there's nothing mentioned here about total. So we've got 5 cats to 7 dogs. There are 45 cats, and we want to know how many dogs there are. I'm going to let that be my X. Now, this one's pretty straightforward. You can go straight across To get from 5 to 45, you can multiply by 9, and then 7 times 9 would give you X is 63 dogs. You can also set up a proportion. 5 over 7 is equal to 45 over X. If you're more comfortable with that, when you cross multiply, you'll get 5 times X is 5X, and 45 times 7 is 315. Divide both sides by 5. And when you divide 5 into 315, 5 won't go into 3, but it goes into 31.6. And it goes into the 15.3, and there again is your 63 dogs. So you can do it. In this case, it's real easy because you can see that it's times 9 times 9, or if you don't see that, you can set it up as a proportion. Okay, division rules are like multiplication rules. If the signs are the same, it's going to be positive. If the signs are different, it's going to be negative. So negative 16 divided by positive 8 is a negative 2. Negative divided by negative is going to be positive, and 24 over 2 is 12. And positive over negative is negative because the signs are different, and that's a negative 8. Number 11, order of operation. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. We don't have any parentheses, but we have exponents. So I've got 8 plus 6 times 4 minus 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. Now let's do our multiplication. So I've got 8 plus 24 minus 9, which is now 32 minus 9. And when you take 9 from 32, you'll get 23. We're adding, so let's add and then we'll clean it up. So I've got seconds. I've got 47 seconds, 48 seconds. Now that won't change to minutes, so we can just leave that. And then we've got 69 minutes, and we've got 8 hours. Now, 48 seconds is not enough to make a minute, but 69 minutes is. There's 60 minutes an hour. So let's take this hour out, and we'll have 9 minutes left over. And bring our hour over is 9 hours, and then we'll still have our 48 seconds. I'm going to circle that. Okay, 245,000 in scientific notation. You have to have a number times 10 to a power. Like a box right there. So this number has to be between 1 and 10. There has to be one number in front of the decimal place. So if it starts here, I'm going to put my decimal between the 2 and the 4. So I'll have 2.45. And then this number, because this is a number larger than 0, is going to be how many places I moved it, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can set this last one up several different ways. You can do it with division. You can do it, I like it as a ratio box because you've got books to pounds, books to pounds. Books. So 12 books weigh 40 pounds. 18 books weigh X pounds. Oh, let's scoot it over for you. So I'm going to say 12 over 18 is equal to 40 over X. And again, this is not the only way to work it. This is just one way. This is the way we worked it in class. When we cross multiply, we'll get 12 times X. And then 18 times 40, I'm going to use the shortcut. And then we need to get rid of the 12 by dividing. And then 12 will go into 720. Won't go into 7, but it goes into 72 6 times. Goes into 0 0 times. So the 18 books will weigh 60 pounds.